Hey everyone, welcome to Mahalo Daily. I'm Veronica Belmont, and you may remember that on a past episode we talked a little bit about webcomics. Webcomics are extremely popular these days, and a lot of people are producing them. What do you think of their popularity, and how do you think they're different from traditional comics?
Well, a traditional comic is printed on paper, you silly person, and the stuff on the web comes over the web.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well, did it? I wanted to give you the full scoop on how these things are made, published, and promoted by someone who does it every day. Scott Johnson is the creator of the Webcomic ExtraLife, as well as the accompanying blog, and he's also the host of numerous geek-themed podcasts. So Scott, we'll let you take it from here.
Hey Veronica, so you want to talk about webcomics? Well, here's how it all comes together. You probably heard of stuff like ExtraLife, Penny Arcade, Commission Comic, PvP Online, the list goes on. Now webcomics are a lot like print comics. They just are on the internet, and anybody with a little bit of art talent and a little bit of something to say can get their stuff out there with virtually no walls to get over and hardly any money to get it started. Let me break it down for you in just a few easy steps, but before I do, I'm going to assume that those of you out there interested in making a webcomic already know how to draw and have a good idea of the kind of comic you want to create. The rest is pretty simple. Let's go.
First step, use the tools that work best for you. Prefer to use a regular paper, pencil, and ink? No problem. But if you're like me, you might want to go a little more high-tech. Here's the way I do it. Sketch out my comic on paper, scan the sketch into my Mac or PC, pull the sketch up in Photoshop and place it into this standard comic template that I created. I then digitally ink it with my Wacom Intuos tablet, which will cost you anywhere between $99 on the low end and up to $400 or $500 on the high end. Then I move the image over to my Wacom Cintiq for all the color and polish work. You can do both these steps with a Cintiq if you like. These are kind of expensive though. For around $1,000 you'll have pretty much the best digital tool money can buy. When you've finished, export your comic to the desired size and file format and you're pretty much ready to move on. Step 2, get ready for the web. Now I could go on for hours on all the hosting issues, domain questions, and web design choices, but let's keep things simple. If you want to get your feet wet, try a free web service and post your comics there. Places like Blogger, WordPress, and TypePad, they're all pretty capable of getting your work out there kind of up front and center for readers. Hey, if it's good, they don't care where they're reading it. They just want to read it. If you have your own server or hosting plan, try the excellent Comic Press modification for WordPress. It does all the heavy lifting for you, like keeping track of archived comics, blog posts for each comic, and all your previous and next needs. I wrote my own, but I'm a glutton for punishment that way. Step 3, get the word out. This is quite possibly the trickiest part for most web cartoonists. The best recommendation I can make is to be prepared to stick it out for the long haul. Take advantage of social bookmarking tools for sites like Stumbled Upon, Dig, Twitter, Facebook, and others. Giving your readers a way to spread the word always pays off. Here's a trick that worked well for me. Try and establish a relationship with another popular site that might be interested in running your comic. There's a good chance your comic will appeal to a niche audience that they already speak to, and by giving them something of value to post on their site, you'll get some great traffic boosts. One last warning, don't launch your comic on Monday and expect to start selling t-shirts, mugs, books, and character plushie toys on Friday.
Don't forget, the most important thing you can do is build up a loyal readership and have lots of comics in your archive. All that extra stuff will come eventually. Back to you, Veronica.
Well, there's definitely a lot that goes into it, a labor of love with hilarious results. Thanks, Scott, so much for showing us how it's done. I'm Veronica Belmont from Mahalo Daily. I'll see you next time.